Today on Building This City, we're going to celebrate 50 episodes, 100 subscribers, and 1 year of doing YouTube. Let's take a world tour, shall we? Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Soap the Great, and I'm bringing you another episode of Building This City on the Adventure Time multiplayer server. How's everyone doing? I hope you are doing well. Alright, before we get started, you can see I'm already heading to where we're going to be going, but let me just give you a heads up. There is a major storm raging right outside my house right now. And so if you hear some thunder, don't be alarmed. It is not from within the game, and it is not from around your house necessarily, but it is around my house. So just to get that out of the way. So today, we're not stopping here. Don't worry. We're going to continue on. As you may have seen in the intro, we are celebrating a few things today. First and foremost, this is episode 50. That means that we have been doing this 50 times, and because it is an episode with a 0, it means that we should do a little bit of a celebration, okay? And the other thing is that if you have been watching my channel or even my Twitter, that's at MC Soap the Great, by the way, you will have known that we recently hit 100 subscribers on the channel, which is pretty amazing. It's not a huge amount, but it does mean a little bit. So, you know, it's pretty exciting. So the other thing is that, you know, it kind of slipped by, but we recently just passed 1 year of doing YouTube videos, and what I wanted to do is do a little celebration for all 3 of those things. And so what we're going to do is take a little world tour, and what I'm going to focus on is not stuff that we've spent a lot of time on in the channel, but stuff that you haven't seen. Either I did it before I started doing YouTube videos, or we just never did it on camera. Okay, so the first thing is this little outpost. Okay, I built this fairly early on when I started playing. I got a little bit braver and decided to go out and venture out from spawn, and so I came out and did this little compound here, or this mini compound, a mini outpost. And if this seems familiar, I've done another one in near the spider farm. Okay, so what we've got is just real simple. It's got a bed, bottom floor, nothing much, just a little stop off point in case anybody wanted to come by. And there's a little bit of junk here. Not really junk, man. This is alright. I don't know where it came from. I think other people have used this as well. But, oh, iron doors. Not good. There. Am I going to be able to get out of here? Well, that works. Okay, that was a little ender pearl trick. I didn't know you could do that. The other thing is I built this pillar because I was afraid of getting lost also. Now I know my way around the map, so it's not as big of a deal. But you see, we overlook a pretty good ravine, and then we've got the interbiome railway going that way. This mini outpost was a result of a little trip I wanted to take to get some pumpkins, because I had seen those on an overviewer map, and I ended up spending a night over in the jungle over there. There's a little jungle tree outpost. I'm not going to show that to you, but it's worth noting is all. But yeah, so we built that little outpost, and that's it for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back to spawn. I'm going to show you some other stuff that I have done off camera, kind of out of the limelight a little bit. And the reason I say that you should pay attention is because we've got something coming up. I don't want to give too much detail, But yeah, there's something coming up, and you will want to pay attention to what I'm doing here, and you'll want to go back and maybe review some things as well. But I'm not going to say any more, okay? That is that. Oh, hello, zombie. Goodbye, zombie. You got any more? No more stragglers around. There we go. Okay. And then this guy, he's kind of lost. He's outside the bounds of the village there. See if I can get in. Yeah, there we go. Alright. You're familiar with the village. We don't need to go over any of this. So we're going to head back to spawn. And I'll tell you about some of the stuff that we see along the way. First, I'll eat some steak. And our iron golems are getting back up to decent amount. Let's see what our entity count is. We get the right key. 236. That's not too bad. Okay. One of the other things, I showed this off early on in the channel, but I don't know if most of you have seen it because it was very early on. But this is a little part of the rail station, and this goes down to a series of mines that Aston was working on. And I don't know, what all did he do in here? I don't know what all he did, but I am not going to take that on right now. But that goes down to a pretty big ravine with a mine shaft, and there's a lot of stuff in there. Oh yeah, that's right. I built this thing and I forget how it all works. Yeah. So we never ended up doing anything with this building. It's just a bunch of storage or something. And there is an item elevator back behind there to take goodies from the mine up to the top, where there's a possibly working minecart with chest. No, there's a little button. No, it's not working. No, is it working? No, it's not working. Yeah, so that never really ended up working, but that's okay. Sometimes the best of intentions don't end up happening. So yeah, this thing I built pretty early on, little rail station on top of the old village that we have moved to over there. Let's go on back to spawn. We can look at some of the stuff there. Now, early on when we started this channel, I gave a tour and I did some of the storyline of how things got started on the server, but not too much. You know, Aston and Sturmfear started the thing, and then we ended up moving it to a third-party server so that we could work on it outside of lunch breaks, and that really opened up things. One of the first things that happened is I encountered a creeper back behind our spawn compound, and what ended up happening is we blew a hole in the wall and more stuff got in, and we just had problems. And so one of my first contributions was this wall here, and that kept us safe once we got it all lit up inside here. And then the other thing that came out of it was our vault. Okay, and that's down here. See, our valuables used to be on this wall, and the creeper blew up right behind it, and we ended up losing half of our valuables chest. So one of the big projects we started was a massive obsidian vault, and now all the valuables, the community valuables, are here, and we've got our ender chest, got some stuff in there. You know, these were some of the earlier enchanted books. But yeah, and here's spawn compound. It's grown over time. After the vault went in, this extra room went in. Sturmfear put that in. And then when the iron farm, when I first finished the iron farm, I had the collection area right here, and I put in a little extra storage room, but once I put the gold farm on top, I put all of the storage over there, and you've seen that, so you're familiar with that. What we're going to do now is take a little sleep, and we're going to go out to the spider farm, and done. Okay. That takes a while, doesn't it? Maybe not so much. Hopefully I don't meet anything along the way here. This is not properly lit up back here. A bunch of sheep. Okay. And we'll come on through here. That is the tree farm right there. And then over here was the former tree farm. Kind of, you know, it's, I don't really know. I guess it's just for everything other than oak. And then, oh yeah, I never showed off. Caleb came through just before the live stream, and he fixed up a bunch of stuff. Put in paths and lights, and recontoured the landscape back here. Very nice. Fixed a creeper hole that was back here in the water temple thing. Put in a little campfire. And the reason you don't see it doing the animation is because I have Optifine on, and Optifine, you can turn off certain animations, and that is useful for keeping frame rates down. Now this thing is completely blocked off. This was one of the first projects that I did after starting the channel, and it has been nothing but trouble ever since I finished it. The lava buckets are no longer there. I don't know what happened just with chunk unloading and how that interacts with redstone. It never really worked right. Oh, it closes automatically. Okay, that's cool. So we'll pop up here, and then we'll go down and experience this thing as I had intended when I built it. Yep, I built this little path out to the spider farm. And I spent some time in an episode over here doing some updates to the farm. And that was for the enchanting setup, I believe. Come in here, 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 and there we go. So does that look familiar? Little outpost. Yeah, I really like that design. It's pretty simple. You can get back into the spider farm that way, or through an entrance up top. And I've got a little farm set up here. Used to have a bunch of chickens right there. They kept escaping. We didn't really need them once the chicken farm went in at main spawn. So we'll pop down here, and this is the spider farm with some updates. Red sand, which is quite interesting, and somebody else put in the AFK spot. It's nice. Pop out here. Okay. It works kind of the same as the one in my base, but I've had some time since I built this thing to learn how redstone works. So yeah, things are a little different. Yeah, we built this in episode 10, which was another kind of a special. I was just kind of figuring stuff out. But let's go down to something I found while I was digging this thing out. I don't know if I've ever shown you this. There is a ravine. Okay? And when I was first digging it out, I came out right there, and that was kind of imposing because yeah, it was rather dark, and I spent some time just doing a little bit of cleanup. And while I was doing that, I ended up finding a room that had a bunch of lava. And this was one of those exposed lava ponds. And I've cleaned it up some. And really getting through the ravine would have been rather tough. So instead of bothering to go down through all the caves, I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead, stair step down, and we'll do some mining. Okay, so I set up this little area, had a bunch of chests, had an auto smelting thing here, put a bed right there. In fact, just for old time's sake, there we go. I spent a lot of time in this mine. In fact, we can look here. You can hear zombies hanging out. We've got a mine shaft there. Where else? How far over did I do these? One there. Didn't want to do that. No, is that one? Let's see. Some mining back in there. There's a mine shaft, and then it went on that way as well. There. Just to show you the mining technique I was using. So I put this huge hole in, and then on the side at player height, as far as my pick could go, it's called feather mining. And between each of these holes right here, you give yourself 12, because there's going to be 5 that your pick can reach, 5 from the other side, and then the 2 on the ends you can see from both sides. So yeah, that's maximum efficiency for feather mining. And each of these shafts here goes at least 500 blocks. So the thing to keep in mind about this mine is that it provided all of the material for the iron farm, which in turn provided a lot of the material for the Enderman farm and the witch farm. So this was really helpful. So spending a lot of time down here. Between recording, I just came on and went mining, which is kind of fun. It's I don't know, do you enjoy mining like that, or is that one of your little chores that you don't really care for? That is enough with that. It's just, again, keep this in mind, okay? Keep these little things I'm showing you in mind, and what we're going to do is we're going to head back up, and we're going to take a look at some other stuff a little far from spawn, and that's going to require a little bit of a jump cut just so we don't spend all of our time traveling. Okay, so next up we're going to be in the Nether Hub, and I will show you where to go with that one. Okay, see you in just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Let me show you. Here we are in the Nether Hub, and I'm going to go to the Swamp Tree / Horse Village, and that's going to take a little bit of time to get through. I just wanted to show you which one I'm picking, and then we'll come back once I get to the other side. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at what Caleb has termed Horse Village, and that's pretty easy to see. We've got a very small village here, and then a bunch of horses. And I had gone on a little expedition quite some time back and got up a bunch of horses, mostly in search of donkeys, but I consolidated them over here, built another portal so I could easily move them around, and in doing so I created a little hidey hole back here, cleaned it up some. Let's just take a sleep because it is nighttime. And this, I did not do this on camera. This is a time I had pretty good content going, and I just wanted to find a horse, and I didn't know if that would have been particularly interesting to you. Maybe it would have, maybe not. Oh, saddles. That's good. Yeah, I don't know if any of these are worth it. I just haven't bothered to come get any more. I filled up what I needed in my base, and we've got plenty at spawn. Let me show you something else I found while I was over here. A skeleton dungeon. Can you... oh, you can't see it. It should be well lit up. Yeah. So that was pretty nice, pretty close to the surface. You know, if anybody does anything with it, that'll be great, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Certainly not going to expect anyone to do anything with it, because we've already got 2 skeleton grinders, but that is Horsey Village. So next up, what I want to show you is another little thing. It was actually part of that same effort to find horses, but I will show you which one we're going to go to once we get back to the Nether Hub, okay? So I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the one that we want now is the Desert Hut and Gold Pyramid. And you've seen this before. You select where you want to go and just hit the button. I will be with you again once we get there, alright? See you in a bit. Alright, here we are. It looks like Caleb has done some work. I think we had zombies coming in. At some point I hear zombies. But let's head on over here. You can see a hut. And I came over here and thought I would get some horses. And I did manage to get some. And took them through that portal, but it took me a little bit of time. So what I did is I came in and built a little hut. Just to give a little stopover in case anybody wanted to come on and play over here. But Caleb has also been over here quite a lot. Hopefully I go in the right direction. Maybe not. Yes. Yeah. Caleb has spent a lot of time at his 3-in-1 nether farm and has gotten a lot of gold. A lot of gold. And he didn't quite know what to do with it. So what he's been doing is just making gold blocks and building this gold pyramid, which is quite interesting to say the least. So yeah, that's a lot of gold, and that's one effective farm, I will tell you that. Very useful. But yeah, Caleb's been doing that. Just goes to show you we are well past survive and into thriving. Hopefully I don't get lost in this desert here. Should have set a waypoint. No, it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, there we go. We're going to head back to spawn. And while we're doing that, I have got something special for you. I've spent some time. Now, what we've done just now is looked at only some things that I didn't show off camera, but we've done a lot of neat stuff on this server, right? We built a lot of stuff, and not just me, but others on the server as well. Put a lot of time in, and as part of the 50th episode special, I have put together a little montage of some flyovers I've done while playing with the Camera Studio mod. So while I am heading back to spawn, just sit back, relax, and watch this little montage. Hopefully you enjoy. I will see you in just a moment. Man, very useful farm. Yeah, that's been very helpful. But yeah, here we are. Hopefully you enjoyed that little montage. I quite enjoyed putting it together. The Camera Studio mod is very, very fun to work with. So if you haven't done that, maybe you're working on a snapshot or something, or just haven't messed with it. But Camera Studio, very, very fun, and it really lets you see your builds and your overall area in a new light. But let's take a little ride, shall we? We're going to head up to the northern village. Alright, so we have done a lot of fun stuff on this server, and you know, we've had people come and go, but as you may have noticed fairly recently, that this server has seemed more and more like a server-side single player rather than a multiplayer. There's not been much collab. You know, the other guys have gone on to other interests, and that is perfectly fine. And but you know, I wanted to talk to you about that. You know, seeing as we've done 50 episodes here, let's just have a little chat, okay? So, you know, I started the channel really on, you know, coming back from the northern village on the Interbiome Railway. We came through here and we went by the football field. Partially mocked, hadn't done the stands yet. Gotten a lot of neat stuff done since then. You know, we didn't have the iron farm. We built that on camera. Didn't have the witch farm. Didn't have a base. It was kind of, you know, we were surviving. The food situation was under control. We've gone through a lot here since I started the channel, and we're going to take a little ride back to the northern village the same way we came in. And on the way, I'm going to give you some big news, okay? So, because the server has, because the server members have pretty much dwindled to me, we've talked about doing a server reset, especially with 1.8 coming out, but really with everybody's interests varying widely, I think, well, really what we've come to is that instead of this being the last episode on this map before a map reset, this is going to be the last episode on this server and of this series. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be ending the Building This City series and the Adventure Time multiplayer server all at the same time. And so that's really what this episode is about, is just showing off some of the stuff we've done and just going over the fond memories that we've had here. So you know, it's kind of bittersweet. It's done a lot of fun stuff, but sometimes you just have to move on. So what does that mean for me and for this channel? Well, it means that right now I won't have a multiplayer series going, okay? And that's one of the reasons why I've gone back to my single player world quite some time ago. I reopened that, and that's why, because I was looking at the possibility of ending this map. So and here we are. Okay, so I've restarted. You know, I've gotten back into the single player, and we haven't been there for a while because I wanted to finish the Memorial Village. Oh, wow, you can still see that thing. I wanted to finish Memorial Village. That was one of the long-term plans, but you know, we're still going to have the single player, and that's going to be it for now. So really, I'm going to keep my options open, or keep my eyes open rather, for multiplayer opportunities. So if you have any suggestions for multiplayer servers, maybe you know of one that is open for application, feel free to let me know. I would gladly look into that. If you want to examine the possibility of playing on a multiplayer server together, maybe we can get something going. I don't know. We'll see what's going on, but I'm going to be focusing on single player for some time. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up, a lot of things still to do in there, and I've set it down just to finish things up here on this server, and I'm quite anxious to get back into it. especially looking at the stuff coming in the 1.8 snapshots and beyond. So yeah, don't worry too much about me in that regard. We are going to have content. We're going to switch back to Jungle Island Adventures, but that is going to be it for the Adventure Time server. So I hope you have enjoyed this series, and I hope you have enjoyed this particular look back on some of the things that we've done here. I quite enjoyed putting it together, and it really is. It's fun taking a look back at what you've done, and maybe you can do the same on your own servers or on your single player world. You know, go back and look at some of the early stuff. How have you grown and changed? If you're a fellow YouTuber, how have you grown and changed since you started your channel? I certainly can think of a lot of things that have changed on mine. I've gotten a little bit more comfortable, a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit more comfortable behind the mic, and certainly I've gotten a better mic, which is says something. But how have you grown and changed since you started recording or since you started playing Minecraft? I would love to know. Maybe show me some screenshots from your earlier builds. But that is going to be it for this episode and this series. So hopefully you enjoyed, and thank you so much. The comments and the questions and the interaction is just amazing. It's a lot of fun. I really look forward to getting comments and just responding to you and chatting with you on Twitter. It's a lot of fun, so do keep it coming, and stay tuned for what we've got coming up on the channel. We're going to head back to my single player world, and I've got another little project I've been working on, and we'll see when that comes out, but stay tuned. And that's not the end of the channel, it's just the end of this series. So it's kind of a goodbye, but it's more of a let's see where else we can go with this channel. So again, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next venture. All right, bye bye.